Hello, everyone. I'm Maddie Smith, and this is That Time of the Week. What the hell is happening? Today we have a very special episode. It's themed, our first time trying it out, and the theme is legal issues. None of us here have gotten into anything crazy other than my guest, Ashlyn, who is an illegal alien immigrant. But that is not what we're discussing today. Today we are discussing 3 hot topics in the celebrity world. Bill Cosby, out of jail. Get out of jail, free. I don't know why. I was trying to read up on how the fuck that happened. I was very confused. Someone used the word reneged or something. I was like, I don't know what that means. I don't even know what a prosecutor is. I don't know what a district attorney is.
Was it reneged?
Reneged. Don't say that around me.
I actually know what happened.
I'm not walking into saying that word, okay?
Ashlyn, she's trying to get you canceled.
You're trying to get
Maddie,
me
I actually
canceled.
know what happened. I actually know what happened.
So Stuart's going to fill me in. I was trying to read, but listen, I'm on West Coast time. I'm slow. Not that, and here's my, I'm not even 2 minutes into the pod. I'm in LA. Okay.
People in LA don't read, right?
They don't read. They don't think. All they do is get coffee with each other and talk about projects that will never happen. So we got Bill Cosby and work out for free and influence the world on what to do. So we got Bill Cosby. He's out of jail. Hide your drinks. Hide your pussies. Okay. Secondly, Britney Spears. Again, she's been talked about on this pod 1,000,001 times. She's coming forward. She's saying, "Get me out of this conservatorship." Her dad's saying, "I didn't do nothing wrong." Meanwhile, people are pulling out of her conservatorship like they're men in college. Okay. So we got that going on. And finally, this is how crazy the week is. This is like the 10th most interesting thing is Allison Mack is, sex cult vibes in jail for only 3 years. Only 3 years.
She branded women. She literally put hot irons on women. And
she branded women.
I'm almost done with white people. I'm
Almost.
there. I know a lot of people were on it earlier, but I'm turning that corner.
Yeah.
The fact that she only got 3 years is like, dude, that's nothing. That's literally nothing. That's like one Lord of the Rings movie. So
3 years is a great, like that's pretty much a free book retreat for her.
Oh my God, it's literally an Airbnb. Like you go, it's simple. Minimalism is in.
It's less than college. It's less than high school.
It's less than high school. Yeah.
By the way, the conditions of NXIVM were worse than prison. So she will be literally thriving. She'll be like eating like a king. She'll be like Marie Antoinette in there.
She's literally going to be Kristen Dunst as Marie Antoinette. So
eating bonbons.
Eating bonbons, yummy cake. But we're going to talk about all these topics in our very special legal episode. All of us, Ashlyn doesn't have a college degree. Stuart has a degree in musical theater. I blacked out all through college. So you guys are about to learn everything from the 3 biggest experts in law other than Kim Kardashian. So let me introduce my guests. You know them. They're pod favorites. Coming to the stage, we got Ashlyn Salzano.
Yay!
What's up? Ashlyn's currently in Cape Cod. I'm in LA. What's next?
I don't know. Stuart's in like her little Brooklyn basement or something.
Stuart's in her little tiny house, and that's our next guest, Stuart Fullerton.
Time for my approach. May I approach the stand? Boom, boom.
Oh, yes, you may, said Judge Maddie.
I'm loving the legal themed episode. Like, I'm obsessed with this.
Of course. Because you love celebrities that get in trouble.
Stuart is obsessed with celebrities who get in trouble.
Because she's gonna be a celebrity that gets in trouble for sure.
Well, I just think it's funny that like we all think that we know. We're all like. We all of a sudden we all think we're lawyers. Like I'm like I actually know what happened in the Cosby trial. It's like you went to school in Utah for musical theater. Like you literally know less than you only know Legally Blonde. Like we think we're just lawyers now.
We think we're lawyers, and this happens all the time. When COVID started, we all turned into epidemiologists. You know?
Yeah.
We all turned into doctors. And then every time there's a famous, we're watching Casey Anthony, we're like, well, technically she blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up. So I try to stay in my lane. However, today you can call me Judge Maddie. All right.
Judge Maddie.
Judge Smith.
So let's get started with our... Go ahead, Ashlyn.
Oh, I was going to say, no matter what I'm watching, I'm an expert. Like, I started watching Ink Masters, and I was like, these this tattoo is terrible. Like, the shading.
Yeah.
Like,
you're using that needle? Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not judging.
It reminds me of how I really hate it when people think they can just do comedy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
but that's how I am to the legal profession.
I have a story about that. The other night I was at a show in LA. It's called Supernova. It's where like the people really big drop in.
Yeah.
And there was this hammered girl. She was obviously 5'1" in heels. She's like 100 pounds. She had red wine all over her lips. And
Obsessed.
at the end of the show, she was like blackout. And she was like, I tried stand up once and it was good. It was like all the girls were laughing. Like I had all the women and like the guys like weren't into it. But I got them by the end. Do you want to hear the joke that I got them on? And we're like, no, and she's like, okay, so I was like, how come guys always say, who's your daddy during sex? But it's weird when I say, who's your mommy? And that's when like, right? Like, why can't we say that? And we're standing there looking at this like munchkin of a woman, like, please leave. People who have tried stand-up once love to tell you
that's
about
also
it.
a great impression, Maddie. Like, I know
thanks.
exactly who she is. Like, that was spot on.
She was literally wearing like heels with shorts and like a blouse. Chug up the house.
Chug. I would have said you know what? You can say who's your mom. You're that weird, so just do it.
Yeah, I'm like, you do it as long as you don't talk to me ever again.
Yeah, just don't speak to me.
Don't speak to me.
Oh,
Anyways,
people are so weird, and that's why like
so weird.
People are so disrespectful of comedians because they think that like they can just do it. And yet, that is how I feel like I'm a little bit of a murder expert. I'm like, I could be the town detective and the mayor of this town as well.
It's the same thing when I go to when I could be the town detective. When I go to a Broadway show, I'm like, if someone said, Maureen from Rent is down and her understudy just died, can anyone do it? I could get up there and do it.
Maddie, I have heard you sing Rent. I do believe you could do it.
I'm not going to do it now because my voice is a little like morning voice. But anyway, let's get started with our first segment, which per usual is called Let's Sync Up. Okay, so we always like to start the pod with one question. And today's question is a legal one on the theme of our court case pod, that time of the jury podcast. I did not write out my puns before this. Today's question is, what is your favorite famous court case? It can be celebrity oriented or just like shook the world to their core. Ashlyn, go ahead.
Go ahead.
She looks ready.
Go ahead. Host
Ashlyn
first.
looks ready.
Oh, okay.
So I had a couple, but one of the one that spooked me the most was the Scott and Lacey Peterson, where he killed her. And it was like one of the huge 90s cases. And I just remember I was like 8 years old. It was a white people thing for sure.
Oh, yeah.
It was a white people, and it was like the kind of the first, like the husband did it kind of. That shook the...
And he went on the news and was like, I just miss her so much. Like she was pregnant. Like, please bring my wife back. And then he set the blueprint for more to come, basically started court TV, So what happened is he called and he's like, my wife is missing. And then like a week later, they found her at the bottom of the river, sunken with concrete slabs.
And she was pregnant.
Wow.
And she was pregnant. And he did all this sneaky stuff to make it look like he didn't do it.
Was he having an affair?
Yes.
There was an affair.
There's always an affair. You see, I'm an expert. I didn't even know, but there's always an affair.
Always an affair.
And man, it has never crossed my mind to say, you know how I can get out of being with my family? Kill them. How much easier is it to just say, I'm cheating on you and I'm going to go with her?
You don't even have to say that. You can just leave, like that's an option.
That's
you know,
an option.
Many men do it. My dad did it. You know, like you just leave.
Yeah, you just leave.
My mom did it because we're a feminist family and we're human oriented. But yeah, you can leave. I mean, it's going to be awkward for 4 months and then it's fine. Like men hate confrontation that much that they will kill their wife.
That they literally will
and unborn
murder.
child. Yeah,
always.
Never has it crossed my mind to kill someone. I don't want to brag.
Yeah,
I don't want to brag, but it has never crossed my mind. So that was one of the first cases where the guy's in court crying and everyone was like, Lacey Peterson still unfound, and it was the biggest tabloid. It was like,
and you were spooked.
Biggest tabloid.
I
was spooked. It was around like the Amy Smart time as well, when this girl went missing, and the tabloids just started covering it.
You're like, white girls are missing. I'm scared.
And like the kidnappers are like, not you. No, you're fine. Like, don't worry. You're not blonde and you're kind of ugly. So so that was my first one. Just the famous coverage of that, and the fact that at the end of the trial they still couldn't, like, technically I don't think they fully proved. They had all this evidence against him and it was still like, is he gonna, you know, like, what the fuck?
Was he found guilty? Or no?
He was found guilty.
Oh, okay.
But I think he's like still talking to the press.
I don't understand how people get away with things like that. But what the media, like, how do you does everyone know you definitely killed your wife and you still don't go to jail?
Yeah.
Like, it's because you get the best lawyers.
Yep.
Which to that I say, like, how do people even have the money for that? But then I think the lawyers just want the media attention. So, like, the best lawyers will go to
think
that.
it's both.
Obsessed,
I think it's both. It's like, you know, money talks. They always say that money talks, bullshit walks. That is the saying. And
but
then
no
I think
one has that much
I never
money.
heard that,
like,
but yeah.
You've never heard that.
No, I'm not bullshitting with you, but it's true.
But then lawyers want to be in the main, because they're like, if I
they
get
want to
this,
be in the
like Johnny
true.
Cochran,
Johnny Cochran.
Yeah.
Gloria Allred is the other side of that, where she represents, and people call her a press whore, but at least she represents like people, like women who have been like sexually assaulted, and she's very like Me Too forward. But when you just take up some guy who killed his wife and you're like, oh, this is going to be good. This is going to slam the media. This is
I'm going to make a name
country.
for myself.
They're going to make documentaries about this case. It's like, ew, honestly, I could never be a lawyer, because what if someone came to me and they're like, hey, I was drunk driving, can you represent me? I'd be like, I'll try. And then I would go on the stand and be like, he sucks. I would just like out them as bad people.
I actually would be a great lawyer. I would be like,
Who
amongst us hasn't had a Bud Light on a night with some fun friends by the river? You get a call from your pregnant wife. She says, bring me some Sour Patch Kids. The young man had a few beers. Let him go. I'd be great.
Wow. You would persuade me as a jury. That persuaded me already.
I got you.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I just wanted to point out, Ashlyn was accused of being illegal before, but actually Ashlyn has, can I say that you are actually the one, you get out of legal trouble because of your PBA card.
So here's a story. The three of us were in the car with a few other people, and our friend Courtney Reynolds, he got pulled over and he didn't have a registration. We had a couple joints. Stuart had to stuff up her asshole. And I don't think he had his license on him. The car, I don't know. Ashlyn pulls out her PBA cards and literally there's like a little,
and the officer was like, so sorry, didn't mean to bother you guys.
He literally started sucking on Ashlyn's tits. He's like, listen, mi casa, si casa.
Your privilege.
He actually just let us take the cop car instead and just let us drive it away. That's actually what happened.
Right.
Yeah. So Ashlyn's actually the get her out of legal troubles.
Yeah.
And Maddie, you're with a lawyer. I just realized that.
Yeah.
He covers Ubers and like listen, this is not Rob Kardashian.
He's not Johnny Cochran.
I'm gonna throw that
Rob
out there.
Kardashian.
That was his name, right? Okay, but let's hear your cases.
All right, so I have two. Okay. One of my favorites is O.J. Simpson, of course.
Of course.
So
good.
Not because like I'm like, yes, he killed his wife, but they say that he didn't. They say, they say it was his son, right?
Money talks, bullshit walks.
There you go. You know the saying.
Okay.
But they say that it was his son.
He did it. Shut up.
But there's evidence that it was his son. All right, whatever.
I think the funny thing about the OJ case is it depends which documentary you watched.
Yeah.
Every case has like different. It's the same with the NXIVM cult. You're like, did you watch that documentary? The Fire Test had different documentaries. They're like, well, now I believe that side of it.
Ashlyn gave her PBA card to OJ Simpson, and that's really what happened.
OJ Simpson in the court was like, and the judge was like,
he pulls it out of the glove. He's like, actually, I have Ashlyn Salzano's PBA card.
They're like, try on the gloves. He's like, I got one better, and he like takes out the PBA card.
Out like a magic trick right out of his
sleeve. It falls
sleeve.
out of the glove.
Oh my god!
But what I love about it is that any court case that has like a rap in it, like a rhyme, I mean, you're in, right? Like if the gloves don't fit, you must acquit. I'm like, drop the fucking bars.
Drop the mic. I know.
I do think it's horrible what happened to the victims, but those attorneys were rock stars, and it was definitely an interesting media circus. How did he rip it on the highway in that fucking?
What was it, a Ford? What was it?
Like literally a Ford. Like, how did he just rip it down? They had to close the highway
a million miles
and he
an hour.
Still got away with everything.
I love car chase footage. I'm obsessed.
A nice car chase, a helicopter, and all. Like, it's just like, of course,
they surround
we're not
the car.
We're not like saying, oh, we idolize these people. We're just talking about court cases that are insane.
I like someone who's like persistent. I love Cuomo's like, I won't resign. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like people who are like publicly just like, I didn't do it. And it's like, but you did. And they're just
it's obvious.
Yeah.
What's crazy is that OJ was literally so likable that his personality was so good that that's all it took.
I mean, he got away, as a black man, with murdering a white woman in America.
That's crazy. And a young white man.
That's insane.
Listen,
literally insane.
That's how liked he was, you know?
It's actually kind of iconic.
My second one is Winona Ryder.
Oh, I love
the
stealing.
When she stole merchandise, she stole like $5,000 from Marc Jacobs. And then
I didn't know about that.
Yes, and then the whole case, she's showing up in like nice outfits, and Marc Jacobs gives her a job.
What?
Yes.
That would happen to Stuart. That would happen.
Yes.
That's that's like Roxy Hart right there.
Yeah. In 2001, she stole the merchandise, and then in 2003, she got a Marc Jacobs campaign.
That's
how
literally
insane is that? That's
that
awesome.
Actually,
that's rock star.
Yeah. That actually, that's amazing. That is just truly, and she was kind of crazy during that case, like saying crazy stuff on the stand and stuff.
Yeah, got interrupted.
And all everybody cared about was her outfit. And I was like, women are powerful. Women are powerful. Because, it's nice to see a woman get away with something, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
100%.
Especially stealing.
Yeah.
I have something to say. I feel like it's all like clutch your purse when black people walk in the room, but it's like white women, we're the true good thieves of America.
I clutch my purse in my asshole when I see a white woman.
You should. We're the real thieves.
There's this facade of who to be scared of. Everyone should be afraid of white women. Everyone's so afraid of white women. No one catcalls anymore because everyone's so afraid of us.
We'll cancel you. We'll steal from you. We'll steal your money.
The service industry is scared of you because you're all Karens. Like
I feel so.
You've
every
done
time
it.
I go into a salad place, they're like shaking as they pour the dressing on.
I have to say something just because Ashlyn brought that up. I'm going a little rogue on this episode, but as everyone knows, I have been waitressing, and I have to say something. Say what you will about men, but men always tip, and women do not.
Yes,
women
white women don't tip often, and it really pisses me the actual fuck off.
It's actually surprising, and they will.
I agree
it
with
doesn't
you,
matter
Stuart.
what kind of white woman. You can share stuff about Biden, and then you can go to a brunch place and tip a single $1 for $50.
I know.
Meal. My dad had a story. He was talking to one of my aunts over the weekend, and he was saying something about the airlines, and she said, well, if the airlines were being bad and everything's delayed because there's not enough employees, and she said, well, if unemployment weren't so high, more people would come back to work. And she is like a Burlington, Vermont liberal. And she was like blaming people not coming back to work on high. That's like a Mitch McConnell statement.
That is Mitch. Also, the airlines fucked all of their employees. That's what people don't want to work because it's not. We're not making enough money to justify it. The unemployment should be that way because the workforce is fucked up. Like,
well, it's also like it's not. Even if it goes so far, like. Healthcare is ridiculous, right? Like health insurance is stupid. And then people are treating their employees like dirt. Like on top of that, you like have the lowest of minimum wage, tax are fucking high, and then you're not getting any health insurance. And then your manager thinks that they can talk to you the way they want. And he's like 22 years old. And you're like, boy, if you don't, boy.
You better pull out that PBA card on his ass.
Boy.
You're under arrest.
But boy, if you don't go back to watching anime, boy, I will.
Yeah, it's horrible. Like, the white women don't tip. And actually, I'll say a stereotype, Ashlyn, about your people.
Oh my God, lesbians. No, I love lesbians.
Tip a lot.
That actually, that term, Stuart did a little bait and switch right there. I went, you know what? Don't say it. Please do not say it. I know.
Now, lesbians, I will look at a tip after a lesbian has left the table and they tip a lot. Like, I'm like, wow. Like, I think I don't know. I don't know what it is, but lesbians tip a ton. Like, and they're all kind of like.
We're just appreciative.
Yeah. Yeah,
we're appreciative people. That's why I said neither you or Maddie could be lesbians because
gays tip like exactly 20%, like perfect. And they do the math calculation perfectly. Like they have it all right. Like they never mess up the math. Like lesbians just tip huge. White women don't tip. Those are my stereotypes.
I eyeball that shit, and I'm such a people pleaser when it says like 18. 20, 25, 20, 30%. I'm like, just 30, 75%. Just take it all. Just take it. Yes, just take it all. I beg of you. So, Stuart, what's your court case?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Okay.
Sorry.
My court case. So I actually also have two. So my first one is, of course, my absolute favorite scam artist, which is Anna Delvey, the Soho grifter.
Oh, my gosh.
I'm not sure if you guys, Ashlyn, if you remember. I'm sure maybe.
I've never heard of it.
Heard about her.
It was about insane.
About 3 years ago, she went to prison. Long story short, she literally was like a Russian crazy person that moved to America and just told people she was a German heiress. Yeah. And this is how dumb white rich people are. They just like believed her. She like literally just started showing up at like functions and like they just let her in because she was so like quiet and weird. And she lived for free in a hotel for like years, like with like fake like cashier's checks, like, and people just literally assumed she was a German heiress. She never even like said any of that. She would like go to the nicest restaurants on credit. Like she ended up like she was going to start like an art collective, like had all this money coming in. Like her scam was going amazing. Unfortunately, she did sort of take advantage of a few people that like, were a little poorer. Like she befriended this girl and then like told the girl she was taking her to Morocco, and then the girl ended up like paying for the whole trip and like now is in crazy debt. However, I did read that girl wrote a book about it, like my friend Anna Delvey, like all this stuff, and a lot of people feel really bad for that girl, but that girl also had like $100,000 credit limit, and I'm like, how did you have that?
Always a plot hole. Always a plot hole.
How is this a crime though? How is it a crime to manipulate people?
She was scamming like
but that's
she
their problem.
Hotels,
that's
like,
their problem.
People, they're stupid. So that's why I'm obsessed with this case, because she fucked over rich people, and that's amazing.
I know. She's literally just Robin Hood. She's Robin Hood.
She got out of jail, but then she violated her. So she's in some sort of like ICE holding, I think. But I'm obsessed with her. There's going to be like 10 movies that come out about her. Mm-hmm. She's amazing.
When did this happen?
Like 3 years ago.
Yep.
What? Where do I live? What am I doing?
Honestly, it was kind of pre like social media talking about everything.
It was right before like the Fyre Fest stuff. Like it was like the first kind of like.
Oh yeah.
Again, it's setting the blueprint.
Yes. Setting the blueprint. Yes. So that's my first one. And then my second one, because I had to really bring up a celebrity. Wait, Ashlyn, did you say your second one?
Yeah, it was Winona Ryder.
Oh, Winona, yeah. So mine actually is very similar to Winona Ryder. And Ashlyn, you will remember this because I think we discussed this on my podcast together. But Johnny Depp and Amber Heard taking each other to court. was absolutely amazing and madness. If anyone wants to go research that, they literally were just both insane. And like one person would be like, she hit me. And then he would say, well, she shit in the bed.
Yes.
And then Amber Heard would say, well, actually, that was the dog shit in the bed because Johnny Depp used to hold the dog out the window.
Yes.
And then he was like, actually, the only reason I held the dog out the window is because she was going to give the dog cocaine. And then she goes, well, actually, the only reason I was going to give the dog cocaine. And it was literally, finally, the lawyers were just like, okay, we can't do, like, this isn't a case anymore. Like, we're not. So that was my favorite celebrity shit show. And I think they were just too drunk to know even what happened.
Such a shit show. And you want to be like, oh, Johnny Depp definitely abused her. But then she's also insane.
But then she was so crazy. There was nothing that could happen.
It's like when you meet like a drunk couple smoking cigarettes and he's like, he hit me last night. And he's like, you hit me first. And you're like, I cannot be like, this is a 2-person thing and I don't even want to be involved in this.
Exactly.
Well, I remember us talking about it on your podcast and I was gonna bring it up. It was like third on my list just because of how crazy it was. Because like you want to believe all women, right? You want to be like, oh fuck Johnny Depp.
I know.
But then you do hear he's like, you shit on the bed. She was like, well, we were doing math, and he was like, yeah, but I had to blow someone for that meth. And it was like, what?
They brought a maid. They literally brought a maid to the stand to be like, she shit in the bed. I looked at it. I cleaned it up.
Right.
How does she know it's hers? How does she know it's hers?
Yeah. And we wonder why no one wants to work because rich people are out here spending their money on that. Like,
yes.
Awful.
Totally. I had one more and then we'll move on to our next segment. The other one, and then maybe it's just because I watched the documentary, was the Aaron Hernandez one, the football player who...
that one was like icky to me.
It creeped me out.
That one's sad. That one's sad.
Sorry for bringing it up. But I watched the whole Netflix documentary and it was creepy and like, I don't know. I just feel like when like people grab someone from like the trenches of their life and make them into a famous person or like a famous football player, and they're like, why does he have behavioral issues? Because you plucked him out of nowhere at age 18 and gave him a shit ton of money
and gave him CTE probably as well.
And gave him CTE probably as well. And like no one, and then like the lawyers tried to turn it on. They had like a gay narrative as well.
Well, I know. The documentary on Netflix, like they'd be like, Aaron Hernandez punched this guy in the face. Like, yes, he was tackled every day, but he was also gay. Like everything he did,
it was so
everything he did, it was like, but he also liked men, but he was also gay, but he also liked dick. And you were like,
they had like the interstitials with the interview with the guy who he experimented with in high school.
Right, in high school.
Like, showed the scene where he shot someone at a bar. Like, what is going on here?
And that kid like lived with his parents still in the basement. And you're like, I don't trust this kid.
That was crazy.
They're also football players are under so much pressure from like their families. They also don't get like any sort of like money, like training. Like, it's like, or like security. It's almost like, talk about like Meghan Markle stuff. It's like these people need security, you know? Like
Meghan Markle.
It's
I'm just saying how she needed security and stuff. It's like once you thrust someone into fame, like
I know
there's no like setup for that. You know, there's no security. Like you don't trust. Like how do you know who to trust? Jamie Spears. You can't even trust your own dad.
You can't even trust your own dad. I told my dad, listen, if you want to do a conservatorship.
Wow.
For the $2,000 I have in my account, like, let's do this.
Wait, I actually will gang up with your dad and do pull a Britney. Tell him to call me.
In 30 years,
we can make some good money off you.
Yeah, totally. In 30 years, I'm on a phone call with a court. I'm like,
my dad is hiding me, and I want out. Everyone is disrespecting me.
Wait,
Stuart just has you doing like Comedy Central roast, like just back to back. You like have a residency.
I show up like the Las Vegas Give Me More. I'm like,
no, Jeff Ross is here.
Yes. No, I'm the woman that was in the documentary that was her nanny. She was like, Britney was such a sweet girl always. I loved her. She would light up a room before the conservatorship.
Oh my gosh. She was great. Okay, well, let's move on to our next segment. I feel like we're synced up.
We're synced.
A lot of legal talk.
I feel like
our next segment is unnamed, but it's called Legal Trivia. I should. Okay, this one's called. This next segment's called Pass the Bar.
Ooh.
Oh, we do this. Okay, that's good. What about this one's called A Guy Walks Into a Bar.
Oh, I love it.
So
I hate when men walk into bars.
No. Okay,
I hate when
let's do
men
this
walk
one.
into bars.
This next segment is called Bar Trivia.
No.
Love it.
Get
No,
it? Yeah,
I-
because
no.
Bar.
No.
Okay, anyway. So we have a lot of topics to talk about. So this is a quick segment. We're just gonna do some
What
fun
about
trivia.
that lawsuit of the week?
Oh my god, yes. That
Okay.
Oh my god, that crime of the week.
That crime of the
Oh my
week.
God.
Yes.
Perfect.
That's what I should have said up top. Okay.
Yeah.
So this one, I'm just going to do a quick couple trivia questions about just law in general. Some of them are funny,
Love it.
some of them aren't. It's
Okay.
literally like 4 questions, and then
Okay.
we'll talk about Dr. Cosby.
Okay. Dr. Cosby.
The doctor.
The
Okay,
doctor.
so this question says, what is the most commonly prosecuted illegal act?
Wait, what?
What is the most commonly prosecuted illegal act? What do people
DUI.
get in trouble for the most?
DUIs.
No.
White collar crime like money laundering.
No. Think
Racketeering.
No, you guys are thinking too big. Most commonly, what is something everyone you know has gotten in trouble for?
Streaking.
Stealing.
Who do you know who's got no streaking? Think even lower.
Drugs.
Even lower.
Drugs.
No.
Weed.
Oh my
no.
God.
Parking
Parking
tickets.
No, but driving oriented.
A DUI.
Speeding.
No, speeding.
Wow, speeding.
Speeding. Everyone you know has gotten in trouble for speeding.
100%.
No, not. If ever no, you keep saying DUI. If that was the most common one, literally everyone you know would have a DUI. Well, sorry, Ashlyn's
We do
biased
comedy.
because of
We
the
do
people in
comedy.
her community. So yeah, it's speeding. I have gotten tickets for speeding for sure. Within 1 week of having my license,
Yeah.
I got pulled over like.
I mean, the
16
thing
times.
is too is that like I wouldn't know
Same
because I
here.
don't get tickets.
Oh, I know. Yeah, right. Ashlyn's drunk driving, flashes her PBA card. Listen.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Right.
this one says, what state has the most lawyers?
Ew.
California.
Texas,
No,
Florida,
Virginia.
no,
New Jersey.
no.
New York.
Yes, New York.
Really?
How did you
Really?
guys forget about this? Yeah, it's 1 million people here.
More than California?
Yeah, believe it or not.
There's more people in New York than California?
I don't know the population size.
I don't
but
know,
this,
yeah.
okay, what state has the least lawyers?
Arkansas.
Montana.
Not Arkansas.
Rhode
Oh,
Island.
Montana area.
Wyoming.
Close to Wyoming.
Nevada.
Nebraska.
Nope. Starts with an N, though.
Nebraska, Nevada.
North Dakota is correct.
Oh. They
No
just
one
got
fucking
Mount
lives there.
Rushmore looking at them. Like, don't do
Mount
it.
Rushmore is like, he didn't do it. Yep. And
Yeah.
then this one says, what state has the most lawyers per capita? The most density of lawyers. This is kind of
California.
no.
Texas.
This is kind of a trick question because it's like not a state,
York.
but is no.
Washington, D.C.
Yes, DC is correct.
Yeah.
I would never live there. I would.
That's
never
why I
live
guess
there.
Virginia-
High five, Stuart. High five.
That's why I guess Virginia.
Oh, Virginia,
earlier.
yeah. I would never live in DC. I feel like if I tried to go on online dates there, I would be so stupid. I would be like, I don't know what a caucus is. I don't know
you
what
have
a
to
committee
be
is.
smart to date in DC.
You have to be
It's like,
really smart. Yeah.
yeah.
Or just super hot so you can be like a politician's wife who
Or
like,
hot.
works at a
Yeah,
nonprofit.
right.
But I would
Yeah.
flail there. Okay, so this one says, according to Illinois law, it is prohibited for men to have a what in public?
Haircut.
No.
Wait, what? It's prohibited to have what in
According to
public?
Illinois law.
A boner.
Yep, that's correct. A boner.
Wow.
Good for you.
According to Illinois law, it is prohibited for men to have an erection in public.
I'm glad you said erection. I don't like that I said boner. That's definitely the first time I've said boner in like 20 years, it seems.
Honestly, erection, boner, they're all horrifying. Any sort
All
of thing
disgusting.
oriented with.
I feel like I didn't even hear the question. I feel like my gay mind just like shut off. I feel
yeah,
like
she doesn't even know. She's like,
She heard men and was like, next one, zoning out. Okay, we'll do one more. This one says, In Cincinnati, Ohio, this sex act that I personally will never participate in is illegal.
Roadhead.
Roadhead? No, I've done that.
Anal.
Anal is correct.
Yeah.
It's illegal?
Yeah, that's according
in
to
Cincinnati?
Yeah, and only in Cincinnati.
Stuart's like, I'm moving to Cincinnati.
I'm moving to Cincinnati, and I'm bringing my boyfriend of 3 years who keeps.
I'm not. We are not pro anal on that time of the week.
No,
podcast.
we are not. No offense.
Or we're pro if you want to do it.
I'm pro lapsed
Anti myself.
I'm gonna have to bring Andrew to Cincinnati on his birthday every year from now on. You will not catch me doing anal. You will not catch me eating an ass. No offense to Ashlyn if you're into that, but
that's for the Gen Zers. Y'all can have that.
For the Gen Zers. They're so progressive that they get bacterial infections in their fucking throat. So
y'all can have that.
Anyway, that is our segment, and it's called That Crime of the Week.
Crime of the Week?
Yes. I made it very quick because we have some topics to discuss. So let's start with the big one. Allison Mack. No, I'm kidding. Bill Cosby. Okay, so what the fuck? I thought he was...
I can explain.
Yeah, go ahead, Stuart. Explain.
Explain to me like I'm 5 because... I thought this guy was locked up for good. I get an alert to my Apple Watch while I'm in a meeting, and I'm like, yeah, I gotta go because the world just turned on its axis.
Yeah.
I can explain. He has the best lawyers ever because he has enough money for them. And long story short, they found a legal...
I would also like to say, I guarantee when that lawyer found that legal little thing, they called their husband and said, game time.
Game time.
Yeah.
It's
game
on,
time.
baby.
So you think the lawyer was a woman? Or was
it was a woman? I saw him walking out with a woman who was like smirking, like that emoji with the side smile, like...
Wow, she better watch her drink. But so they found a legal loophole. Long story short, we all know he admitted that he had done it, but it was a long time ago, or something. Like he admitted it in some sort of court of law at some certain time and signed paperwork at that time a long time ago. I think this was I'm not 100% positive, but it was probably before it came out fully. And they used that to say that they found a legal loophole with that thing that he signed, saying that pretty much he admitted it a long time ago and that he didn't get jail time because it was a plea, technically.
What he did was he did an immunity deal, and so when he did his deposition, when he spoke about it, anything you say when you're doing a deal and you're like, okay, anything I say, it can't be used against you, this is it, that's it, you can say whatever, you can say I murdered 10 people, but if the lawyer said okay, we'll give you a deal, then they can't do anything about it. So they use that statement that he made as for this case, and you can't do that because he only said that statement under the assumption and the agreement that he wouldn't be charged for saying these things.
How can you not be charged? What do they do with
it's
that?
It's a legal loophole.
Yeah, it happens a lot though. It happens a lot in drugs and murder.
Yeah,
but then after that, he settled with this woman for $3 million.
Yeah, I think it's just all lawyering. That's the thing. We all think we're lawyers, but there's all these crazy fucking loopholes.
We all think we're lawyers.
We don't even know about. He literally did crazy loopholes. And at the end of the day, people will do anything for money. And the money is deep in the legal system. This woman was probably you know what? Yeah, I'll take $3 million. Okay, sure. I would do the same thing.
I mean, money talks, bullshit walks. My friend right now, my friend right now is having baby
You're
daddy.
literally a walking Staten Island
walking
mafia.
Staten Island. Yes.
My friend is having baby daddy issues, and he served her with some papers, and he's taking her to court, and he tried to pull some sly shit, and he texted her the served her the papers through text, and you're not supposed to do it that way. So she got the case thrown out because of that. And I was like, how do you know that? Like, she went to the judge and was like, he texted me and that's illegal and he shouldn't be texting me that.
You gotta research.
I was like, oh my God, I'm so dumb. Like, I'm so
dumb. To me, I'm always so confused. I'm like, he did it, put him in jail. Like, well, what else do we need to know? And then they're like, well, the jury was blah, blah, blah. And someone on the jury had a drink that morning. So we have to do it all over again.
Yeah, it's like Legally Blonde when she's like, actually, when you permed your hair. It's like that.
God.
And the Lisa Campanelli or whatever her name is. What's her name?
I forget her
Amy
name.
Cardinelli.
Wait, it's also Lisa Cardinelli. That's her name. Amy Cardinelli. It's also like in The Sopranos. Have y'all watched all of The Sopranos? When Adriana realizes when she's watching she's watching like Law and Order, and she realizes if she marries Christopher, if she marries him, then they can't use anything that she said because she's legally like his wife. It's just like all those, and that's actually how like the mob gets away with everything, is because they're actually smarter than the lawyer. You know what I mean? Like they know all the legal.
Well, they have, and that's why they're allowed to have mob wives. Like it's insane that show existed. It was like being in the mob is illegal.
That
like,
was insane.
How is that? Yeah, how are they in the mob and they're just like not getting caught?
It's like
amazing.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
So how do you guys feel about the Cosby thing? To me, it's like he's people are like, there's comedians on Twitter who are like, watch for Cosby being on your lineups. I'm like, this guy is gonna die in like 4 years.
I think he's so old. I honestly like, it's disgusting that they're like doing this, but I just think like let him like die at his house. I don't think he's gonna leave his house anyways. I think he technically is in a personal hell, hopefully.
Yeah.
With like feeling. I mean, he was the greatest, like he did great things and was a great person. And he totally like at the end of his life, just like no one respects him at all. Like, that's the ultimate.
Well,
punishment.
actually, I think people do then.
I think he's disgusting. Like I honestly can't stay on the side of him. I can't believe he got out. Like I can't believe that there's.
I do too.
I can't believe that there's like people doing years for marijuana, but you could just like drug people and fuck them, and then you're good to go. Like this is insane. And like honestly, I'm gonna say this: if I'm ever sexually assaulted or raped, I'm going to murder the person because justice system does not exist.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, you guys heard it here first. Don't sexually assault Ashlyn because she just put out a threat.
Murder or don't rape Ashlyn.
No, the guys listening are like, okay,
I didn't mean he's great. I just meant
yeah.
He what a failure. He ended up being.
Yeah. He was, not gonna lie, actually pretty attractive in his young age. There was no reason to put Quaaludes in people's drinks. If you look at old photos of Bill, you're like, damn. I mean, but by the time
Maddie is wet. He came out of jail and Maddie was like, it's my time.
When I was looking at photos of him, I was saying, you didn't need to do that. You know what I mean? You could probably just...
A lot of girls
and the money, and he had money.
Famous, like yeah, you don't have to drug them. But like that's what makes it like he wanted them drugged.
That's why it's like, dude, you just like you hate women that much that you just want them to pass out,
the fuck out,
stop talking so you can put your dick in their ass.
If he could have just said, Stuart, I could have just said, hey, can you not do the drugs? I will fall asleep if you just.
I will fall asleep if you just like try to talk to me.
I will take a melatonin by myself.
I'll play dead. I'll play dead. I actually enjoy doing that during sex, Bill. So I can make it happen.
I always find it like super creepy when it comes out that like a celebrity is like drugging people or raping. You're like, dude, you could literally say, hey, what do you want to do in your career? And I'll fucking get on my knees and suck your dick. You know what I mean?
Because then you know it's just about the power with them, right? It's just like, you're like, you didn't do it because you can't get girls. You didn't do it because you didn't know how to, like, you just did it for the power. Like, it wasn't about, like, you trying to get laid. So, like, I really don't respect that.
Which makes it next level creepy.
Yeah. It's the same thing as, like, a lot of people are like, like Louis C.K., like, he didn't even do anything that bad. Like, all he did was, like, come on people. But it's like, what people don't think about is, like, Louis C.K. was doing that to, like, smart women. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not like he was just going and paying. He didn't want to just pay for a prostitute. Bill Cosby didn't want to just pay for a prostitute. He easily could have done that. He wanted to take a woman and like get her to a vulnerable place, which is the creepiest part of it all.
So
wow,
creepy.
What a good closing statement, Stuart. What a good.
He wanted. And now I approach the stand. Thank you, jury, for listening. This has been my statement.
This has been that crime of the week. Again,
don't drink a martini from Bill Cosby.
Never. And like I said at the top of the pod, it has never crossed my mind to drug someone. Never crossed my mind to have power over someone.
Have you ever wanted to drug Andrew? Like, oh, this would be better if Andrew was asleep.
Keeps talking. Shut up.
If I
Give
tried
him some melatonin, shut up.
Drew is as bigger than a moose. If I tried to drug him, I couldn't get him out the door. I couldn't carry him up one flight of stairs.
Or the drugs just don't take with him because he's so big.
Yeah, he would just be like, I'm a horse. He needs horse tranquilizers.
He actually does. So it was like 60 women who came out against me. Oh my God!
Whoa!
I am one
Bill
of the
Cosby.
60. I'm one of the 60 against
Bill
Mary.
Cosby is here.
I am Bill Cosby, but there's still people who are like there's a lot of people who are on his side, which is
he
wrong.
admitted it. Like what?
But people
Claire
always gonna be
Huxtable's
on
on his side. Claire Huxtable.
The dean of Howard came out in support of him. If you saw
Felicia Rashad is her name, but
what are we talking about?
The woman who played Claire Huxtable came out and said, I'm so glad he's free. She's a dean at Howard University.
Yeah. She said
she should lose her job, I think.
I think they put her on probation or
she released
she gets a vacation.
No, but that's actually like unhealthy for her to be a dean at a college.
Yes.
Where sexual assaults occur.
Sexual assault.
That was the number one place for mine. I'm just going to
yeah, let's just say I had a lot of Bill Cosby martinis at the University of Utah.
Except they were in a red Solo cup and
at the Sigma Chi house.
And the guy had nothing. There was no pros of that.
Yeah.
At least Bill Cosby, you can tell people. Anyway.
Exactly. I know, exactly. Like, at least, like, it's like, okay, Bill Cosby, not like the guy that worked at Tropical Smoothie for me.
Yeah, the guy salmoning you at the smoothie place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, totally. So that sucks, but I think he's gonna croak in a few years.
I think he's just gonna croak and never leave the house.
Did you guys see him leave his car and walk into his house?
No.
He literally needed help. So like, the car pulled up, there was a helicopter and the car pulled up to his like house and everyone's opening the door and he's like, you should watch
I will
it.
say, however, to that, Ashlyn, that could also be an act because with the Harvey Weinstein thing, they gave him the walker with tennis balls on it. I'm like, dude, the guy's like 60 fucking 2 years old.
No,
like,
you can tell. Yeah, you can tell with Harvey Weinstein that it's an act, but with Bill Cosby, he like looked bad, and it looked like some guy was trying to carry him, and it looked like when Bill Cosby was talking to the guy, I felt like Bill Cosby was being like, "Who are you again?" He's like, your son. Who are you again? Like, it just felt like he was lost. And then he threw
do that, though, to get out, like...
And then he threw a peace sign at the helicopter. Like, at the news, Bill Cosby was like...
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he's fucking insane. He's insane.
Wow.
He's insane. He's a menace.
You know what, though? Like, I'm not defending him, but I will say anything that happened before the year 2000... What he did was like back then people would have just been like, oh, that's Bill's way though. Before a certain time, men who did stuff like that, it was more of like a joke. Like, oh, don't hang out with Bill tonight.
It's like old Hollywood, Hollywood baby.
Yeah, it was like a norm. I think it's safe to assume any man who existed before 1999 has.
Yeah. I actually was discussing it's like kind of a long story, but I actually know a girl. I grew up with a girl who recently is going to jail for having a relationship with her students. She's a teacher.
Oh my God.
Of course you do. Arkansas, baby.
I know, Arkansas.
And
the reports are like really creepy. I guess she was like dating two students, like one at one school, one like I guess then she moved schools. And I grew up with this girl. And what's crazy is I went to church with her and her dad was always really, really creepy. Like, and I remember our parents, no joke, they would say like, don't ride alone with Mr. So-and-so. They would still let us get in the car with him. You know what I mean? But they would just say like, don't get in the car with him alone.
Yeah.
Like make sure they literally would say that to us. And it's like, I mean, that's Arkansas. So it's like a little worse.
But that's everywhere.
Like,
yeah.
Like
and the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, huh?
Don't get in the car with Ashland DUI Salzano.
Even Harvey Weinstein, it was like a known thing. Like don't go out
Yeah.
there.
It was like a joke. Like don't be around Michael Jackson if you're a kid. Like they like joked about it.
I know.
Like and they literally have a talk show recording of like someone being like Cosby loves his like it's crazy.
Quaaludes in the pudding.
Well, people didn't really respect women until like literally, well, not yet.
Like
but
yesterday.
Meanwhile,
like yesterday.
These days we're crying about a yogurt shop online. We're like the yogurt shop.
Literally,
did
Demi
this to
Lovato.
me.
They crying about sugar-free yogurt.
Yeah.
And back then,
There's got to be a happy medium of like respecting women and like not making
us fully validating people disrespecting us. That's pretty
good.
So that's Bill Cosby. Let's talk about Britney Spears.
Oof.
She's I'm actually surprised that she is talking to, because for me it was like I always thought like it's done for her. Not done.
I
for
thought
her,
so
but I'm
too.
like, how is this ever gonna end? Like
I think she
Can I ask
was-
you guys a serious question? Because you guys
No.
know. Because you guys know more about this than I do.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys think there is something we don't know that's wrong with Britney?
So
Because I can't see, like, it's 2021. It's not like 1865 where, like, women don't have rights. Like, I truly can't see a judge. Like, I have 3 cousins who shouldn't be in charge of their money more than Britney. You know what I mean?
And they have like $10
but to that
their
I
name.
Yes.
To that I say though, and actually, so Ashlyn, I was asking this as well because I was like, I don't think she should just like go be thrust into a normal person's life.
That sounds horrifying.
That sounds horrible. And I know there's a lot of credible people that say like, I have interacted with her and like, it is not a normal interaction. Like she is not okay. But to that I say, and actually I'm kind of stealing this. I talked to Claire Parker about this a little bit and she kind of like explained this to me. Like, are you allowed to be a crazy person? Yes. Are you allowed to see you know people that are crazier than her that see their kids? I have a crazy mom that's allowed to see me. Like, like you, at the end of the day, homeless people are allowed to leave their house and take out their IUDs. So like at the end of the day, she still like, it doesn't matter if she's crazy. Like she deserves.
I agree.
I
mean,
kind of, this
the
is
other
like
thing
the
is
discourse around like people with disabilities. They're like, oh, this is like, Britney is a famous person, so we're very aware of it. But when people with disabilities are this, like, you know, minimized to just like a person who lives with their dad, everyone's like, yeah, well, he's in a wheelchair and blah, blah, blah.
Exactly. So it's like, yeah, she deserves. Now, should she be able to make all financial decisions? No. Get her a financial manager. Like, should she be able to make a ton of quick medical decisions? Like, have a baby tomorrow? Maybe not. But like, get her people like that she can trust. She's not getting anything. And the other thing is she can't leave her house anyways because of the media.
I
The
mean,
media's a
also
true
it's like, you know, like I think it's your American right to waste your money how you want to. Like if she wants to spend 10 million on heroin, she can. It's illegal, but she can. Like
not in Oregon.
Yeah. Oh, it's
That's
not
like kind of the argument. It's like yeah, like if she wants to be stupid, then
She's an adult. I think like in our mind, everyone's mind, because she came into the spotlight when she was 16 or even before that. So it's unfortunate for her that everyone thinks, oh, Britney, dumb fucking.
Also,
so do we think he's paying the judge then? Do you think do we think that? Because like
she got a court appointed judge.
Right.
She got a court appointed one, which is someone that just like pretty much like us.
Is
like
random.
You with your PBA.
Yeah.
You with your PBA card.
Random.
Yeah.
Totally
Wait,
random.
another thing I'll say really quick is another thing we're kind of forgetting is that like she looks so crazy because they put a lot of work into making her look crazy. Like
Yes.
they took her kids away and that's why did the umbrella with the the paparazzi were literally killing her, you know? Like that's why she freaked out on.
1,000,000%. And they back then, when she had the public freak out with the umbrella, mental health wasn't talked about. So everyone was just like, "Oh, this dumb bitch, haha, shaved her head. Let's make fun of her on SNL." And like, but now it would be like, let's talk about this.
Well, now
like everyone shaves their head, and and they get like a Nike deal, you know?
Yeah,
and they're Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah,
literally.
Like, did y'all read the part where like she has to go to therapy? Like she has to drive to a paparazzi insane therapy session. Why doesn't the therapist come to her house? Because they want the media to see her driving to therapy and then having to freak out. And then she goes into this therapy session after like being insane. You know, she was thrilled that her therapist, like her last therapist died. Like she was so excited when that happened because he was just telling her she was crazy. Like
it's literally an episode of Black Mirror.
It's like it's literally that Miley Cyrus episode with the pop star.
They're giving her the weird drugs, like
they gave her lithium.
Reality.
Like when she was like on TV acting crazy, they had given her lithium. Like she wasn't acting. They didn't give her lithium when she was performing because she wouldn't have been able to spin a million fucking times like she does.
Right. My question is, how was she able to talk to the people if she has? Who was she able to get her to?
I think she only.
Everyone is working against her.
I think because of the media and like the fans freaking out, like it's brought enough attention that they aren't allowed to tell her not to talk.
Right. Oh, okay.
Man, this is sad.
I don't really know though.
Really sad.
That loophole.
Yeah. Every time it happens, I'm like, we failed Britney. You know, I'm like, we failed her. Our whole generation failed her.
I think we failed a lot of people. The fact that many celebrities have public breakdowns and are just off their rocker, I do think we need to stop with the celebrity worship because people rise and they fall rapidly and then we throw them in the trash and then they're just like punchlines.
Yeah.
We like hype people up so much. People that don't ask to be hyped up. Do you know what I mean? Like
literally she was like, I just want to hang out with my family. And they're like, go Britney, go. Make your voice weird for us.
And I think they
put them in a pedestal, you know? We just do that to them. They don't ask to be seen as perfect, but we're like, oh, Britney's perfect, her body's perfect, her hair is perfect, I want to dress like Britney, I want to sound like Britney. It's just like, whoa, she's just trying to do what she likes.
I literally think it's modern day, like back in ancient Rome when they would like literally watch people tear each other apart. I actually think we do that emotionally and we just watch people just.
I actually think we still sacrifice people. Remember when they used to sacrifice people for rain?
Yes. That's what we do. It's like, let's just sacrifice them for our entertainment. So we watch them. Like, it's crazy. We're sacrificing. Yeah. I mean, wow, this got deep, but anyways, free Britney.
We didn't get to talk about Allison Mack, but we do have to wrap it up. Anyway, that bitch ran a
Allison Mack, whatever. She's going to jail for 3 years. That's
she wasn't
stupid.
even like a known actor. Like if your only credit is Smallville,
and not even the main character,
and
not even the main,
not even the main character, and you didn't even join a cult that makes you a celebrity. Like you're
for
just
a Canadian. You're a Canadian, also. Like don't even try to play with the American celebs.
And you have a thin-lipped smile. Just go. You know,
you're not Drake. You're not Justin Bieber.
I agree. And anyone who joins like a sex cult as a woman, you're a pick-me girl. You're a pick-me girl, and you're aligned with a man, and you're like, oh, of course I'll get you some more.
She was the number. Allison Mack was literally the one pick-me girl in America.
The number one. She is a guy's girl at the end of the day, and that's girls get stitches. So, anyway, so that's our pod. That's our legal pod. That's that crime of the week. I object. What's it called?
I object.
Order in the court.
When you end the
session. Session closed.
Session adjourned.
Session adjourned.
Court is adjourned. Hit the gavel. And now I feel like we just passed the bar. So,
and if you want to hire any one of us for legal representation,
Rodriguez Smith Fullerton or Salzano Smith Fullerton.
We have to do Rodrigo because it's like diverse
Rodrigo
because when like people when people need immigration help they'll turn to you. I have the drunk driving.
If they need immigration help they should turn to Stuart.
Why? Stuart's gonna send them home
because you go to the enemy. The enemy protects you better.
Exactly.
Oh,
because she knows how to talk the language.
She's like, I don't like you much, but I'm gonna do what I can.
I'm like, come on down to Texas. I'll take you right where you need to go. This great restaurant, and then I just drop him back off.
Exactly. Anywho, thank you guys for being here. A little announcement for the pod, July 7th, which is in a couple days from this coming out. We have a live that time of the week pod at the Tiny Cupboard. It's at 7 p.m., followed by Maddie Smith headlining, doing an hour of comedy, aka probably like 43 minutes, and then see what happens after that. All of my gals on the pod right now are going to be there. But where can we find you guys? It's going to be so fun. Tickets at thetinycupboard.com or something. So, Ashlyn, where can we find you?
Oh, you can find me at Ashlyn Salzano on Instagram. And then let me give you my TikTok because I'm becoming... Oh, Ashlyn Salzano on TikTok, too. Who would have...
Yes.
For legal, you have a legal TikTok for legal advice, right?
Legal advice.
I'm at Stuart and Chill on all platforms. And yes, come see us at the Tiny Cupboard. It'll be fun.
Yes. And of course, guys, patreon.com/Maddie Smith. And we'll see you next episode of That Crime of the Week. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.